So I'm gonna pay you $100 to fuck off.
Extremely conservative group just bought a game with a huge LGBTQ player base. This sounds something straight out of Black Mirror, but unfortunately this is a reality for us Sim players. Recently I've been talking about, EA was just brought out by private investors. The Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, Silver Lake Management, Affinity Partners, for $55 billion. This is, in my opinion and many others, extremely disheartening and leaves The Sims' future up in the air. I mean, The Sims has been making constant improvements when it comes to representation of the community. In The Sims 1, it allowed you to have same-sex partners, and this was all the way back in 2000, when being gay was just a part of another punchline. Sims 2 allowed for same-sex marriage, Sims 3 had canonically gay townies, and even The Sims 4 you can have male Sims wear feminine clothing, vice versa, as well as pick their pronouns. All of these improvements basically help the LGBTQ community to feel more at home, more at ease, to feel like their spot or their identities are being fairly represented in a game that's all about having real life scenarios. Of course, The Sims didn't just stop at LGBT, but also at a racial minority. You can make a Black Sim, an Asian Sim, literally whatever you want, you can make it. Aliens, witches, you name it, they can make it, allowing your community and game just to feel a whole lot more real than just having an entirely white game or a suburban area where it's just nothing but white townies. The Sims was truly ahead of its time, but now with these new private investors who don't have any experience with having a gaming company, Silver Lake Management is more known for their tech advancements such as Airbnb, Twitter, and Dell, as well as tech investments, whose CEO is of course Jared Kushner, aka Donald Trump's son-in-law, and he is married to Ivanka Trump if I'm not mistaken. A lot of large Sims creators have already spoken about their concerns with these new changes. Literally just googling EA Buyout, you will see countless articles of larger Sim creators such as Little Simsy talking about this, as well as the communities are being very, very cautious and extremely worried about this. And as someone who is a part of the LGBT community, I am also really fucking nervous. And the sentiment of being unsure and worried is really running true for just the general Sims community, and not even just the Sims community, just in fucking general. I miss when EA was in the game. That and EA Big. That and Challenge Everything. Now it's Charge Everything. Been that way since 2012-ish, sadly. This feels so wrong. It is wrong. It's also hyper-inflated value just so SA can get in the game, but many execs at EA are going to get absolutely filthy rich off this, and that's all they really care about. Edit. Even though this comment is getting upvoted, I will correct the inflated parts. It's not. EA valued at 50 billion currently, with the net profits of almost 8 billion in 2024 is a relatively normal price to buy out EA. Although this is still crazy, they can just swoop in and open the war chest and do it. On the right side, EA can't get much worse at this point. Yeah, with that new ownership group, I'll be avoiding EA products going forward. Not that they were all that good at this point anyways. That's because if Saudi Arabia and Jared Kushner are involved, it is Jared Kushner being the stepson of Donald Trump, who corruptly took billions of dollars from Saudi Arabia and from a corrupt family line on his own. This is straight out of his Wikipedia page. He took over Kushner's companies after his father, Charles, was convicted for 18 criminal charges, including illegal campaign contributions, tax evasion, witness tampering in 2005, and he was pardoned by Trump in 2020. Jared was also frequently accused of conflicts of interest, profiting from the policy proposals for which he personally advocated within the first Trump administration. Jared founded Affinity Partners, a private equity firm that derives most of its funds from the Saudi government's sovereign wealth fund. His political history is also a lot of flip-flopping and willingness to switch over which political candidate suits his needs. The apple isn't falling very far from the tree, indeed. This deal is also leveraged, so it adds $20 billion in debt to EA, so get ready for a massive increase in monetization. Even if the Sims stay the same, I don't want my money to go to those people and help them finance whatever bullshit they have in mind for the future. Yeah, I'm not paying a penny into Saudi/Trump propaganda funds for sure, so the series is very much dead for me after this, saying this as a woman, as a member of the LGBT community. And that's my major concern. Even if they keep everything else as is, the money is going towards funding the horrible policies they are pushing out. This is going to wreck the Sims franchise as it's been a welcoming/safe space for all. None of these companies support that model, so you can expect some major changes down the road, expecting them to root out any LGBTQIA plus content sad day. Highly doubt anything in the game will change. I think it's a bit more complicated than this, though, yes. On the other hand, they want to keep it inclusive to maintain their existing player base, but there are plenty of media properties that have already been heavily censored or not available at certain markets, because there are so many people to consider. Think about the censorship of the World of Warcraft content in China. China's a huge market, so censoring the game to reach those players makes sense. And the same way censoring The Sims for all or some players make financial sense if it opens up different markets. I guess we'll have to see what happens. I'm done buying Sims games anyways for other reasons, so I'll just be observing. Even if they won't change anything, you want to give money to Saudi Arabia and Jared Kushner support slavery and the Trumps, I'm not buying anything Sims related no more. Although many players are talking about the price increase possibly, as well as just the overall quality of the game going down, this has nothing in comparison to the actual employees at EA, because at the end of the day, the games are not that important when it comes to the lives and benefits that the EA employees have that may be cut due to these private investors. As much shit as EA gets, they're considered the gold standard for employee play and benefits in the industry. A leveraged buyout will make the new owners want to recoup their investments as fast as possible. Everyone says they'll just monetize games more aggressively, which they probably will do, but I put good money on them also clawing back employee benefits, stalling pay increases, and just straight up laying people off, which will make it worse to be an employee at the company. Edit, employees have already lost a benefit, which are buying EA stock at a discount. That's already a major loss for the workers. Private equity is notoriously bad for workers. The first thing you do is cut worker benefits and stop things like raises and career progression. Hopefully a lot of the workers have stock as part of their compensation package so they can get a little bit of money from this deal. So, nope, they in fact liquidated existing old stocks of employees once bought out. It's bad for employees. Only EA executives will make money in this deal. With the acquisition, EA took a hefty $20 billion debt. So massive layoffs across the studio will definitely happen to cut cost, and also more aggressive monetization of what is left. The deal is huge. Bet the AI can significantly cut EA's operation costs, allowing the equity contribution to manage a large debt on a company that historically carried a limited net debt. AI is already widely across Silicon Valley to accelerate many kinds of computer programming and games development. It can be used to replace voice actors, create backdrops, and other assets, as well as automating play testing to avoid bugs and before future releases. The investors are betting that AI-based cut costs will significantly boost EA profits in the coming years. People involved in the transaction told the Financial Times source, never buying an EA product again. This is a very interesting thing that I did not even think about, because AI is definitely something that's very scary, that can replace some people or many people's jobs. And if, we get AI into The Sims or EA in general, that means people are going to lose their jobs. People are going to lose what they had. They're going to lose their livelihoods, their money, possibly even no longer be able to feed their families. It's really unfortunate, and because it's a private investor and all they care about is money, they will just do it. They're like, all right, fuck you guys. We want to make money. So y'all can go fuck off, and we're going to make big bangs by using AI to increase our benefits. Which, yes, every company does this. Every company is known to try to cut costs wherever they want. And this absolutely sucks. Mostly because it will cut people's livelihoods. It's going to ruin a lot of people's lives if they are replaced by AI at EA currently at their job. And not only that, you're going to get shitty content. You think AI is really good? It really isn't. You can look up an AI photo and all of a sudden you see a cat's foot twisting around looking like a goddamn snake and going into its body. So it's not good quality at all. So it's well then, what are you doing with this? You're replacing people with AI. And I think the voice actors will probably be one of the very first people to go, because there's already AI voice acting. You can put in there, sound like a young girl crying. Boom, there you go. You have a young girl crying. One thing I want to point out is that the Sims 4 quality has never been that good compared to the other games. For example, Sims 2, you can get Bon Voyage and you're able to go to Japan, the tropics, and the mountains. While in comparison to Sims 4, we don't have a Bon Voyage. We have the separate ones. If you want to go to those locations, you would have to purchase Island Living. Campsite, and Snowy Escape, which, by the way, the Sims 2 bundle at that time was around $35 for the Bon Voyage, which is now $55 now, while all those free bundles in The Sims 4 at full price would be $120. And do you think EA, in order to make their money back, will make decent games, or just do more stupid and greedy shit like The Sims 4 has been doing for the past 10 years? I think it's the latter. If not that, they're gonna cut the employees, and I'm not surprised if they've already cut them by this point and they did a fucking Blizzard Part 2. I said before, EA was already in debt, $20 billion, and with that, the $55 billion deal was just a way out for EA. But knowing this, for the private investors to make their money back, we would probably just increase the cost of goods, monetization, not make it that good, which people have already talked about, budget cuts, and, do a Microsoft Part 2 on the poor employees at EA. And it's just so sad to me, and honestly a little insane. I do hope that this buyout doesn't cause anything negative to happen to employees, especially like the games I could care less about, but the employees, I really hope that they don't get cut. The future for EA will be, or The Sims, I'm not sure at all. With this company is just all about money. If you think they care about LGBT representation, they really don't. So I think they will probably keep that in there because they're like, oh, let's just keep the gays in because they fund our games. So at the end of the day, I don't think I'm going to be purchasing any Sims 4 content anymore. I don't think so after this EA buyout, because I don't want my money to go to something that I do not support or I do not like. If they're going to be cutting back or, abolishing a lot of rights that people already have, to fund that, I don't want my money to be a part of it. Yeah, sure, it's only like $40, but that $40 can probably help them out in the long run if everyone keeps buying it. So honestly, with all that being said, I just don't know. I don't think I'm going to be purchasing EA content in a while or ever due to this buyout. I don't feel comfortable buying it. And I already see that they already have the brand new Sims 4 bundle, like imaginary friends. I'm not buying that shit. Honestly, you could probably get Sims custom content that's way better, higher quality, and is made by smaller creators that you are actively supporting, which I will probably do, or download mods because mods are very fun. So in conclusion, fuck the private investors. I'll give you guys $100 to go fuck off. And I hope that EA doesn't suffer too much. I genuinely hope so. Like, The Sims 4 is a big fuck you when it comes to being, like, profitable, in my opinion. Like, they're very money hungry as is. So they're going to increase that money hungriness by like 50% or something, or like 100. Like, they're going to go Super Saiyan with that shit. And it's unfortunate because I think EA is an actual decent company. But yeah, I just want to give my little 2 cents as someone who's not only the B and the LGBT, but I'm also fucking Mexican. So, this is just not gonna work out for me when it comes to buying EA content, because I'm like, I do not want to support someone that actively tries to suppress my minority both times. Like, I'm getting fucked both ways, so I'm not gonna support it, It just really does suck, because I generally do like Sims. I like playing The Sims. I like doing goofy shit on The Sims. But I don't think I want to support someone like that. I have to see when the EA buyout is going to happen. I don't know if it's already happening. I have no idea. I'm going to have to look it up, because the one thing I do really want was probably that Sims 1 bundle thing. But even then, it's not worth it. Like, I could probably do some other stuff and get it a different way that may not be completely okay, but at least I'm not giving money to assholes, so I'd rather do that. Anyways, yeah, that's my little rant. I'm sorry that it's not about Overwatch. I just want to talk about it. Feel free to comment down below on how you feel about the EA buyout. I'm always curious on everyone's different perspectives. If you want to support this channel, you can like the video or subscribe or share it. Or there's also a new option now that is hyping the video, which will also help me out in the algorithm. A quick shout out to my members: Wacky, Wakito Woo Woo, aka Wacky number 2, Fruit Bowl, Jerry Rico, Manny 2062, Faded Visions, Onesie Lightyear, Ansley L, Flashbacks, Accelerated Falchion, Kawaii, Pineapple Bun, Fire Rowlet. If you want to join these amazing people and support the channel, We have these tiers: small hammy is 99 cents a month, loyalty badges, shout outs, and custom emojis. Hammy is $1.99 a month, all perks above, name on the hammy wall, and early access. Big hammy is $3.99 a month, all perks above, photo updates on videos, and a custom thank you note. Biggest hammy is $7.99 a month, all perks above, custom Twitch command, and you guys will be able to pick my cosplay during the week of October for my PNG.